Hello, my name is Joseph Urbanski, and I'm a certified life coach. It's my job to go around and help people past the things that are stopping them. It's the greatest job in the world. Um, Today, I want to do a short video because I think that if I do a long video, I'll lose a lot of people, and I just want to make this just 3 or 4 minutes tops. But I want to talk about the feeling of alienation and how you can get past it. First off, what is the feeling of alienation? How do you define it? What I want you to realize before I give you my definition of the word alienation is your definition may be a tweak different, and that's okay. People have different perspectives of different things. To me, alienation is that feeling you get, it's that tension feeling, that tension feeling you get when you're kicked out of a group or a situation or even a conversation. It's that negative stress feeling, you know what I mean? You're alienated. It sucks, right? But what I want you to think about, I was going to say what I want you to know, but hey, I don't know anything. What I want you to think about is that the feeling of alienation, that feeling, you know what I mean, is always worse than the actual alienation in the first place. Think about this. The alienation, how long does it take to alienate someone? How long does it take to transfer someone from being included to being excluded? Probably like 1/10 of a second. You know what I mean? It's just like, bink, boom, you're alienated. That's how long it takes. But we feel alienated for how long? How long have you been feeling alienated for? 10 minutes? A day? Years, maybe? I hope not. But sometimes we get stuck in that feeling of alienation. We don't have to feel that way, though. You have to realize that all that we have to work with in our arsenal as humans is really managing our state of being. You can say emotional state or mental state or whatever, but it's really just our state of being. That's the condition of how we find ourselves. I can go on and on and on about state because it's central to my belief system. But when you're feeling alienated, what is possible that you're doing? No, I'll just say it like it is. What you're doing is you're not feeling alienated. Okay? You're being alienated. And you and only you are in control of whatever you're being. So, whenever we experience a negative emotion or a limiting behavioral pattern like the feeling of alienation, how we get out of it, if we want to break the cycle, the pattern of negativity, how you do it is you just figure out what the antonym is. You define the feeling that you're experiencing that you want to change. In this case, it's alienation. And then you figure out what the antonym is. The definition of alienation to me is that tensive feeling of exclusion. So the antonym or the opposite would be inclusion. So you find what you focus on in this world. So if you stop focusing on the things that make you feel alienated, if you stop focusing on how unfair it is, how not right it is, how that's disrespectful, if you quit focusing on all the things that are causing your feeling of alienation and you focus on feelings of inclusion, your negative feeling of alienation will evaporate. That's what I want you to do. If you're feeling alienated, go back and include yourself. If you were alienated from a conversation, go back in and include yourself. But don't do it with a negative defensive state. Okay? We're managing state here. You want to go in with a state that's beneficial. Water has 3 states, right? Solid, liquid, and gas. Human states of being, there's probably trillions, you know what I mean? But they can all be grouped into 2 categories: beneficial states and detrimental states. Let's talk about a conversation. Maybe you were alienated from a conversation. If you've been alienated from a conversation and now you're sitting in the corner all pouty faced, stop. You're not feeling alienated. You're doing what your subconscious believes that an alienated person should be doing. Stop doing that and go back and include yourself. But remember this, alienation is a detrimental state. There's two types of states, detrimental and beneficial. Alienation is a detrimental state. Okay? If you are alienated from a conversation, go get back in. But don't get back in all huffing and puffing and blowing people's house down. Because that feeling of defensiveness or aggression, or however you define that, would also be a detrimental state. Trading one detrimental state for another detrimental state doesn't do any good. Go in with the beneficial state. And only you can define that, you know. Go in with a feeling of honor, respect. You know, what I do is I focus on what my life's purpose is. And that's really what guides me on my day-to-day activities. I don't feel alienated anymore. And if I ever do get alienated, it's for 1/10 of a second. All right? That's about how long all detrimental states should last. Until next time.